I'm Steve Williams, and this is Scooter and the Sticks. I'm out today riding my Royal Enfield Himalayan. And as I was looking at it, I was reminded of why I bought it. I love the way it looks. I like that it's simple in its design and construction. Just a single cylinder air-cooled engine with 2 valves. No modes, not a lot of electronics, easy to maintain. And I try not to anthropomorphize my scooters and motorcycles. I don't give them names. I try not to attach myself to them like I would a dog or a person. But I have to tell you that I failed in that endeavor. I've had some concerns about the motorcycle being too big and heavy for me to handle alone out in the wilderness, off the road. And as I've thought about what to do and whether I should sell it or get rid of it, it just seemed like a major betrayal on my part of the Himalayan. So let's go for a ride, and I'll talk a little bit more about betrayal. I've recently been exploring the topic of getting older and how it influences my ability and desire to ride. And more specifically, what it means with the Himalayan, because I've come to sense that there's some uneasiness at times when I'm riding, especially alone off the pavement in places with no cell coverage. It's sort of challenging to sort out what's a result of emotional reactions versus objective facts gathered through observation while riding. Do I sometimes feel uncomfortable riding the Himalayan? Yes. Are there reasons why? Yes. Do I have evidence to support them? Well, sort of. I've had the Himalayan a little over 2 years. During that time, I've identified subtle changes in me, physically and mentally, that have had an effect on my riding comfort level. My psoriatic arthritis, while well controlled with medication, still is progressive, and it's been causing more pain and limitations on movement and flexibility. Where I once thought I could scramble off a falling motorcycle just as I once could scramble onto the hull of a capsizing sailboat, I objectively know now that that won't be possible. And once the motorcycle is down, if I'm not injured, I would have difficulty lifting the bike. I know that for sure, and I'm not even sure I could lift it. Those are objective facts and uncomfortable realities. A purely emotional response tells me this is dangerous and you should stop riding off the pavement. But I know my emotions can generate anxiety and fear. And while sometimes they're spot on, sometimes they're just irrational responses to real situations. What to do? I've been wrestling with the question of the Himalayan and my concerns for months now. And it seems like I have 2 choices. Either to quit riding the Himalayan off-road or to buy something smaller and lighter. Seems like a simple, elegant solution, but it's not. And I'll say that I did go and buy something smaller and lighter. I have a 2023 Honda Trail 125, and that motorcycle, with the little I've ridden it off-road, it's wiped away any concerns I have about being off-road alone in even really rough stuff that I would never even consider taking the Himalayan. But that doesn't solve the question of what to do with the Himalayan. So there's still more to think about and more to consider. My initial thought was to sell the Himalayan and use the cash to buy a Honda Trail 125. Cold, hard, analytical thinking, simple, fact-based. But then I would go into the garage to admire the Honda Trail 125, and standing next to it was the Himalayan. That motorcycle faithfully carried me anywhere I wanted to go. Never let me down. And now I was going to betray it. Selling it felt like sending a beloved dog to the pound. For a man who doesn't anthropomorphize machines, I was just a few steps away from calling the Himalayan Daisy. I don't need the proceeds of a sale to pay for the Honda. It's paid for. And while space for 5 machines in the garage will be a tight fit, it is possible. A little recent reorganization revealed that. And room for a 6th machine if I go completely off the rails. Questions about riding the Himalayan off-road are more complicated than I thought. Because one is just a definition of what off-road might be. You know, the kind of well-maintained forest roads, maybe they're not really an issue. But I came out today, and the snow and ice just melted off the past couple days, and there are spots here on what seems like a hard-packed, smooth road that are just like an inch of mud and grease, and very slippery. And I could feel the Himalayan squirming about on the road. So, you know, when I first experienced discomfort on the motorcycle, I was pretty far out and some pretty rough stuff. So I'm not sure what to do yet. I guess the only thing I can say is I'll keep riding it until a decision becomes clear. To either keep it or to betray it. Difficult questions. There's just a lot to think about. Riding through these forest roads today was mostly okay, but there are places where I did feel that old sense of being uncomfortable, being vulnerable on that tall, heavy machine. And again, this is all relative. At almost 70 years old, the Himalayan is heavier and more unwieldy than I thought it would be at this age. There are no issues on the pavement. It's a great motorcycle. But I'm just not sure what to do. Maybe there's a place for the Himalayan in the garage and in my life. Time will tell. So that wraps things up for this episode of Scooter and the Sticks. Until next time, Be well and ride safe.